Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Nahmadu wa nusalli ala Rasulil Kareem. Amma ba'd. Alhamdulillah. We are on part 16 concerning spiritual discourses. We're talking about humility, which is the cure of pride. And when we study the lives of Sahaba Ikram radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'in, they were extremely humble. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took them to such heights. Once Hazrat Muhammad bin Hanifia asked Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, who is the most excellent person after Nabi Akram sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Then he asked, who is after him? He replied, Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. After that, Muhammad bin Hanifa said, after him, you are the most excellent person. Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu answered, I am an ordinary individual from amongst the Muslims. Now who does not understand the noble status of Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu? But clearly he states here that he is an ordinary person. That's why Nabi Akram sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has stated that there will be two deviated groups. One in hate of Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and one in love of Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu. We find this, that the Khawarij hated Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu and have taken the path towards Jahannam. And the Shias, they claim they love Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu and the Ahl Bayt. But in reality, when you study Shiaism properly, you realize that they are actually the enemies of Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu and the Ahl Bayt. But they claim that, and they have chosen the path towards Jahannam. Whereas Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu himself is saying, I am an individual, I am an ordinary individual amongst the Muslims. And he clearly states that Hazrat Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu is more superior than him. Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu is more superior to him. And it was of these qualities that Sahabas became Sahaba and became the most noble and lofty personnel on the surface of the earth. Hazrat Abdullah bin Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu lived a very humble life. Once someone sent to him a harawi cloth as a gift. He returned it and said, we cannot wear it due to the fear of haughtiness. If it had gone to some party and someone stood at as a token of respect, he would not sit there. Today, unfortunately, we want all this. We want to dress fashionably. And whereas the hadith of Nabi Akram sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is clear when it comes to fashion and dressing, which most of us are not particular about. Nabi Akram sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said that the person who dresses in fashion of the day, Allah will dress him in the dress of disgrace on the day of judgment. And these days, unfortunately, that you'll find people who are ready for the grave. In my terminology, who are in the penalty area. Men and women, when you go, unfortunately, to wedding receptions, you will find strange things. That the old are competing with the young in dressing, in coloring their hair, in style, in fashion, in modernity. All this is not good. It leads to pride and haughtiness. And the amount of wastage that goes on, extravagance, that we are definitely going to be accountable on the day of judgment for it. And the preparations before the wedding and after the wedding the photography, the videoing, the Instagram, all that. And nowadays, before the wedding, they have a bachelor's night. And in this bachelor's night, literally thousands are spent, thousands. Because every bachelor must come dressed. And nowadays I have been informed that they must dress as in a particular film of a particular actor. All must dress in those suits. And imagine every suit must be valued about 20,000 rand minimum. And if you got only 10 people attending there, it's 200,000 rand. But 10 people obviously are not attending there. Much more than that. So all this dressing for show, can you imagine now Hazrat Abdullah bin Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, when a gift was sent to him of a cloth which was extravagant, he did not accept it. And these days people got the audacity of speaking ill of Sahaba Ikram radiallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'in, who lived simple. And because of Sahaba, companions of Nabi Akram sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, today we can be proud that Islam is practical and Islam is practiced. If people say, no, Islam is not practical, we can proudly stand up and say it is practiced, it was practiced, it is practical. Sahaba practiced it. And how they did it? With humility, sincerity, devotion, compassionate, winning the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That here we can see that if he went into a gathering and someone stood up, he went away from that gathering. We see this in our nikah ceremonies, that after the signing and whilst the book is being signed, then the poor imam and Maulana has to take the book and go to that wealthy person for his signature and to that other wealthy person for his signature, and the people will get disappointed if the book doesn't come to him for his signature. Whereas the nikah book, when you sign it, you must realize something. If the husband and wife, Allah Ta'ala protect, run into any difficulty, then you must come to the party. You must come and intervene. You must come and sort out the difficulty. You must come and sort out the problem. Why are you signing the nikah book? Who asked you to sign the nikah book? Do you not realize the responsibility? You feel very proud and you feel hurt if they don't tell you to sign the nikah book. But when the difficulty starts, then why do you shy away? Why do you run away? So understand carefully before you sign the nikah book. You may be getting your pleasure in the time of the hour for that few seconds when that book is brought to you for signing. But because of pride, you want to sign that book. But when the difficulty starts, why do you run away and shy away? These are all elements of pride that we should be removing. Hazrat Amir Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala anhu has been called the lover of dignity. Once Ibn Amir stood up as a gesture for him in respect. He stopped him from doing so. Unfortunately, what has it become nowadays? That we want people to stand up for us. We want people to salute us. We want people to greet us first. We want people to come and handshake us. We want people to honor us and respect us. For what? For our knowledge, for our ilm, for what we think we are pious, for our wealth, for our goodness we do upon others. We want payback, immediate payback. When we help someone, then we think in our back of our mind that when this person sees me, he must salute me. I've done this for him. Maybe I paid his water and lights. Maybe I helped him to buy a car. maybe I funded him. So when this person, when I see him, I must salute him. When I see him, I must stand up. He has done good. And that person is expecting it too. I helped this person. Now when he sees me, he must salute me, greet me, handshake me, embrace me. And he must be at my beck and call. All this removes all the sawab. And nowadays you will find people, the pious, so-called righteous, and those who are possessing knowledge, that when they walk, they want people in front of them, they want people in the side, right-hand side, left-hand side, behind them. And this was not done, except to Nabi Akram sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And there too, people were walking on his side to take benefit from him, to ask him questions while he is walking. Allama Mufti Sayyid Padampuri, Shaykh al-Hadith of Darul Deoband, has written about this in his commentary of Tirmizi, and he has stated that this is not a good practice, that people walk behind the pious, because this is not beneficial. If you want to walk, you walk on the side so that you can ask and question and you can interact with the pious. Nowadays we have been informed that unfortunately that the so-called pious, when they go into the gathering, their subordinates, those who are around them, and most of the time unfortunately the subordinates become higher in status than the principal factor. So when they come into the gathering or masjid or hall, then they clear people out. Hazrat is coming. Rasta choro. Remove. Go away from the road. Get away from the path. Our big Hazrat is coming. And they push their way by force, tearing through the simple musallis right into the front row and make Hazrat sit down. All this is not supposed to be practiced. All this is not proven in Sharia. All this is like hero worship. All this is not becoming of a Muslim to do. And then some places they read poetry when the Hazrat is coming, which is completely wrong, which tantamount to equating the current day Hazrat to Sahaba, and sometimes they read poetry which was read for Nabi Akram sallallahu alayhi wasallam. They read those poetries for the current Hazrats. And sadly the current Hazrats do not object to this. Whereas you can see that how even Nabi Akram sallallahu alayhi wasallam, when he entered and Sahaba stood up, he clearly told them that don't elevate me like how the Christians have elevated Isa alayhi salam. I am just a human being, a mortal. When Nabi Akram sallallahu alayhi wasallam did not want Sahaba to stand for him, then who are we to stand in respect and honor for the current Hazrats? This is a bone of contention which should be addressed. Yes, if a person is old, a person is elderly, then a person by all means can stand and help that person, aid that person, support that person, make him comfortable. Yes, if a person has come from a long journey, you haven't seen this person for a long time, and you see him now to stand for him, that is proven. Even to go out and meet him, that is proven. Like how Nabi Akram sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that when he went to meet Hazrat Jafar radiallahu ta'ala, who had come from Khaybar, and Nabi Akram sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he just got up as soon as he heard that Hazrat Jafar radiallahu ta'ala had come, and immediately left to go and meet him and embrace him. So, because he came after a long time. So if someone comes after a long time, you're allowed to do that. But we should be doing every action in the parameters of the Shariat. May Allah Ta'ala grant us understanding of the Shariat. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.